Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. Today I want to talk to you about wrestling dream matches. With the WWE seemingly running 3,000 hours of programming a week, fans are used to seeing the same wrestlers wrestle over and over and over again. Do you enjoy seeing Kevin Owens beat up Dolph Ziggler? Well good, because you didn't have to worry, you could see it twice a week, at least until the recent brand split. Dream matches are the ones that, well, the fans dream of seeing. Two wrestling superstars of the highest caliber who have never met, leaving fans only to guess what a match between them would be like. Often this involved wrestlers from different promotions who just can't meet. In the late 90s, wrestling fans dreamed of seeing WCW's Bill Goldberg versus WWF's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Back during the 80s, Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan were the kings of their promotions, and it seemed like the kingpins of WCW and the WWF would never meet. Fans could only dream about whether the dirtiest player in the game could overcome the power of Hulkamania. Wrestling fans eventually got their wish, not when Ric Flair entered the WWF in 1991, he never had a one-on-one match with Hulk Hogan on television, but in 1994, when Hulk Hogan wrestled Ric Flair in WCW. Just as dreams come true, so too do dream matches, but in some cases, it's a once-in-a-lifetime event. And that means they've only met once, no matter what the WWE said about The Rock versus John Cena. Such is the case here, where these 12 wrestlers met in dream matches on just one occasion. Keep in mind that we're only counting TV and pay-per-view matches. House show matches don't count, even if they involve dream matchups. Number 1, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. You've probably heard the adage, a good big man will always beat a good small man. However, fans of the squared circle know that's not always the case. Take CM Punk for instance, a man whose drive had taken him from the minor leagues to the top of the WWE and now had his sight on the beast, Brock Lesnar. At 2013's SummerSlam, Punk battled Lesnar in a no DQ match to see which one of these Paul Heyman guys was the best, rather than fighting over any belts. The Beast proved his mastery thanks to some timely interference from manager Paul Heyman. The battle went an incredible 25 minutes until Brock Lesnar proved that a good big man will always beat a good little man when said big man uses a steel chair. Given CM Punk's heated departure from the WWE and his focus on MMA, you're more likely to see Punk and Lesnar in the octagon rather than a WWE ring. Number 2, Rey Mysterio versus Rob Van Dam. The one-of-a-kind wrestler met the master of the 619 battling in a no-DQ non-title bout during a WWE vs. ECW TV special designed to hype the June 11th, 2006 ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view and the WWE's relaunch of ECW on the Sci-Fi Channel. The Battle of the High Flyers saw World Heavyweight Champion Rey Mysterio and Rob Van Dam showcase the aerial skills that made them famous. The two wrestlers battled for 10 minutes with either man being capable of getting the Duke. The seesaw battle concluded after Mysterio missed a springboard leg drop, hitting a chair instead of his opponent. RVD followed up with a 5-star frog splash, winning this dream bout. Even though RVD and Mysterio no longer work for the WWE, a return to the company or a meeting on the independent circuit leaves the possibility of a rematch open. Number 3, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Mr. Perfect. All sorts of potential dream matches opened up when Mr. Perfect returned to the WWE at the 2002 Royal Rumble. Perfect wasn't a random superstar thrown into the mix either. He entered at number 25, impressing the fans with his efforts against superstars such as Triple H, Kane, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Rob Van Dam. Mr. Perfect's performance at the Rumble and the fans' enthusiastic response to his return led to him being signed to the WWE. Despite some wins at house shows, it quickly became clear that Mr. Perfect was in WWE to put people over. After his elimination at the 2002 Royal Rumble, Austin took his frustrations out on Mr. Perfect the next night on Raw. This led to a dream match between Mr. Perfect and Austin on the February 25th, 2002 Raw, resulting in Perfect counting the lights after a stunner, and the match lasting less than 5 minutes. Mr. Perfect continued working in the WWE to get wrestlers over until his out-of-the-ring activities led to his dismissal in May 2002. Mr. Perfect's untimely death in 2003 ended the possibility of any further dream matches. Number 4, The Rock versus Bret Hart. The Rock was still wrestling his rookie Rocky Maivia. Although Maivia wasn't quite The Rock, he was no jabroni, having won the Intercontinental Championship just 3 months into his career. Hart would lose by disqualification when he refused to break the figure 4 on Rocky. Hart was embroiled in a feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin, so this one-and-done match was the only time the two Hall of Famers met. If Hart had remained in the WWF rather than going to WCW in late '97, the fans might have seen a fantastic feud between the Hitman and the People's Champion. Instead, this match was used to advance the ongoing feud between Steve Austin and Bret Hart. Number 5, The Undertaker versus Dean Ambrose. The April 23, 2013 SmackDown aired from London, England, a special episode that saw The Undertaker's first appearance on SmackDown in 3 years. The Shield was undefeated in 6-man action on TV, but how would Shield member Dean Ambrose fare in his singles debut against the Dead Man? Turns out, not so well, even with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at ringside. Ambrose gave it all, but like many opponents before him, he learned that one mistake could mean defeat. In this case, Ambrose put himself in a bad position, allowing Undertaker to lock in the Hell's Gate, winning in less than 5 minutes. After the match, Undertaker fought all 3 members of the Shield, but eventually the numbers game caught up with him, and the Hounds of Justice punished Taker with a triple powerbomb through the announcer's table. The Undertaker would not be seen until the following year, while the Shield would continue its rampage through the WWE. Number 6, The Rock versus Ric Flair. Ric Flair has defeated some of the biggest names in the sport, but his greatest victory may have been his ability to fight off Father Time. The Nature Boy proved this when he returned to the WWE in 2001, putting on wrestling clinics despite being in his 50s. A Rock-Flair match could have been a pay-per-view headliner like The Rock vs. Hogan was at WrestleMania 18, but the WWE chose to air it on the July 29, 2002 episode of Raw instead, using it to build up a program between Flair and Chris Jericho. Rock won the match with a rock bottom, with Flair suffering a post-match beatdown by Jericho, leading to a feud. Number 7, The Rock versus Jeff Hardy. By 2003, The Rock's appearances in the WWE were limited, with his wrestling career taking a backseat to Hollywood. By 2003, The Rock was back to being a heel, playing off his success in Hollywood and reminding WWE fans that he didn't need them. The WWE had a push in mind for Jeff Hardy, now in singles competition after brother Matt was drafted to SmackDown. But Hardy's personal demons were holding him down. This dream match took place on the April 7, 2003 Raw, and saw The Rock win after hitting the rock bottom. Sadly, Jeff had hit rock bottom figuratively as well, with the WWE releasing him just 2 weeks later. This dream match didn't involve a program between Hardy and The Rock, but was used to build up a dream match between The Rock and Bill Goldberg. Number 8, Bret Hart versus Mick Foley. The excellence of execution and the deranged Mick Foley met just once in singles action during their careers. The two Hall of Famers battled not only on one of the smallest stages in wrestling, but at one of wrestling's smallest shows. On January 25, 1997, Foley and Hart clashed at the Webster Hall nightclub on the WWF's B Show, more like a C Show, but B Show already sounds bad for a dream match, Shotgun Saturday Night. The match ended in a disqualification win for Hart after his brother Owen interfered, breaking up Bret's sharpshooter hold on Mankind. Although Foley would meet Bret Hart in tag action, this would be their one and only singles match, a dream match even though there were no titles on the line. Number 9, Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. The WWE Universe was so behind Daniel Bryan that even if Vince McMahon emptied the arena, the seats would have cried out, yes, yes, yes! WrestleMania 30 was Daniel Bryan's chance to show how his technical excellence and the fan support could shatter WWE's glass ceiling for smaller wrestlers. First, Bryan had to overcome Triple H in a singles match at the Showcase of the Immortals before he could enter the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match between Randy Orton and Batista. Bryan would defeat Triple H, moving on to the main event, but he had to deal with an injured shoulder and the interference of the authorities, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Despite the interference, Bryan won the triple threat match, forcing Batista to submit in the Yes Lock and becoming the new WWE Champion. The next night on Raw, Triple H signed a match against Bryan, with Batista and Randy Orton attacking Bryan before the match. After an RKO and Batista bomb, Hunter forced the referee to ring the bell, marking certain doom for the champion. However, the timely arrival of the Shield saved the day, stopping Tripp's latest plan. Was this second bout a real bout or not? If not, then Triple H vs. Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30 was a one-time dream match. See how Triple H can even screw up a wrestling list? This guy's ego is unbelievable. Number 10, Shawn Michaels vs. Goldberg. Another WCW vs. WWF dream match came true when the Heartbreak Kid stepped into the squared circle on the October 23, 2003 episode of Raw to see if he was next on World Heavyweight Champion Goldberg's list of victims. The dream match had gone just 6 minutes and 30 seconds when Evolution's muscle man Batista showed up, taking out Shawn Michaels before Pillmanizing Goldberg's leg and collecting the $100,000 bounty Triple H had placed on Goldberg. Once again, a dream match ended up being a setup to advance an angle involving another wrestler. Number 11, The Rock vs. Eddie Guerrero. A July 22, 2002 Raw saw Eddie Guerrero fight undisputed world champion The Rock in his bid to secure a title shot. Guerrero hadn't ascended to the main event yet, but that didn't stop him from interrupting The Rock's celebration of his recent undisputed title win. The Rock decided to see if Guerrero could back up his talk, giving him a non-title shot that night with the condition that he'd get a title match if he beat The Rock. However, Guerrero's rising star rose no further that night as he fell to the People's Elbow at the 8-minute and 30-second mark. After the match, Brock Lesnar confronted The Rock about the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, and less than 2 years later, Guerrero would defeat Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Number 12, Stone Cold Steve Austin vs. Taz. The Human Suplex Machine made a strong debut in WWE, ending Kurt Angle's undefeated streak at 2000's Royal Rumble in an incredible 3-minute and 15-second submission win. Taz, a former ECW World Champion, faced Stone Cold on the November 12, 2001 Raw, a battle of the Stunner versus the Taz Mission. At the time, both men were involved in the invasion angle and on the same team. When Taz questioned Austin's leadership, Stone Cold responded with a stunner, which, as you can imagine, didn't win Taz over to Austin's way of thinking. This short but brutal bout saw Taz lock in the Taz mission, only for Austin to get in a low blow, following up with a stunner for the win. While the WWE tends to run the same matches over and over, this list proves that sometimes a once-in-a-lifetime match really does only happen once. The next time WWE announces a dream match, you might be inclined to believe the hype. Otherwise, you could miss out on a piece of history. So guys, that's our list. What did you think? What one-time only dream matches did we miss? Please, drop us a comment below and let us know. If you like this video, don't forget you can hit that like button and then hit that subscribe button so you get more videos just like this one. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and as always, thanks for watching.